Just gonna wait up.
Hello, hello, hello. Mr. Baldeo would like to say a few words, so if you can give him a hearing. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Yes. Don't forget.
Brothers and sisters, I'm sorry to be late. I was at the Smoky Park where there was a commemoration for the 5 soldiers who died in Guyana's tragedy, the helicopter that crashed. But I had to make it my duty to come to pay tribute to Joseph Stanislaus Solomon, and this was my second stop, so I do apologize for being late. But being late is never an excuse for failing to pay tribute to one of Guyana's greatest sons. And that is why I'm here to discharge such a solemn duty in favor of a trailblazer and in tribute to Joe Solomon. Now, what Joe Solomon signifies, he's the only person to have scored 3 first-class centuries. I keep a lot of cricket statistics, but he's the only person who has scored 3 first-class hundreds in his debut. When he started to play first-class cricket, 300s, 3 in a row. And then in the tie test in Brisbane, he had the distinction of running out 2 people on 2 very important wickets. He was fielding at mid-wicket, and then he threw down the stumps of Alan Davidson, who was going to take the game from the West Indies. Davidson was an 80, and Joe ran him out from mid-wicket with an unerring throw that is so unique in cricket history. But the final moment of greatness in cricketing terms, in Joe Solomon's life, and cricket and life that is, came in the final over when West Indies were trying to keep Australia in that famous series, 60-61, one of the greatest series. And Joe was in that final moments when the last 3 balls, Frank Worrell told West Hall that if you bowl a no ball, you're going back to Barbados because they wouldn't welcome you back home because Australia just needed 1 run to win. Eventually, the next ball, and then Kanai was going to catch it, and then Hall went in front of Kanai and he messed up the catch. But the final moment in history that is crystallized in all the moments of cricket, wherever cricket is played, that final iconic moment was when Joe Solomon threw down the stumps when he only had 1 stump to aim at, and he was feeling right at cover. And he unerringly threw down that stump just as the batsman was about to clench the run. And that was a great moment. That was an iconic moment. That moment is frozen in time, and the photographer who captured that moment had only 1 reel of film left. So this is where history all came together, and Joe Solomon was the star of that history. But Joe Solomon means much more to us than cricket. Why I say this? Joe Solomon gave us a face. He gave us an image. He gave us life. He appeared as one of the first Indo-Caribbean cricketers to have appeared for the West Indies and Guyana, when no one else had crossed that threshold. Our foreparents came as indentured servants from India. And for you to reach to that level, for you to fight the same colonial masters that governed us during pre-independence days, meant a lot for us. And in the same way as we talk of Cherry Jagan, as we talk of Rowan Kanhai, as we talk of Eddie Laku, Sir Lionel Laku, and all these great folks, it is because Solomon was able to take us to a higher level as East Indians from Guyana. And that is that is his connection to history. That is his connection to geophysical, economic push that transformed us and gave us pride, gave us something to live for, helped us to lift our heads up high, that we too could excel. We too could belong. We too could become test cricketers. We could become doctors. We could become lawyers. We could become politicians. We could eventually rise to the level that we have reached. And each of you in your own way have followed the example of Joe Solomon. Because in your own way, you have taken the bar to a higher level in every field that you have endeavored in. Whether it's business, whether it's education, whether it's your kids' development, we have all excelled. And it started with folks like these, Joe Solomon, who remains a hero, a folk hero, a shining light, and one who will always make us proud. And that is why I'm here, and I had to come today so as I could not be remiss in paying tribute to a great Guyanese, a great Indo-Caribbean person, not merely a cricketer, but a person who extolled and took us to a higher level. And for that, we owe Joe Stanislaus Solomon a great debt of gratitude. He had a big heart, and he laid a great foundation. And even so, he inspired some of us who've gone into politics here where no one else has ever gone before. That when Joe Solomon in 1960 decided to play Test cricket for the West Indies, he told himself that he could be as good as any person. He could be as good as his colonial masters, and he could be better than them in the end. And that, my friends and brothers and sisters, is a great defining legacy. He's a trailblazer. He's a person who has crossed the threshold, who has brought us to a higher place. And we want to tell Joseph Stanislaus Solomon, thank you, sir, for a life wonderfully lived. Thank you for your great innings. Thank you for the example you have set. Thank you for the history you've created. Thank you for the memories. And may God grant you eternal life because you truly deserve it. Brothers and sisters, raise your glasses when you go up to Joe Solomon, an icon and a person who's made us proud and will continue to be a beacon of light, hope, and success in our community. Thank you very much. I'm Albert Baldeo, the elected discipline of the largest diaspora in Guyana, outside of Guyana here in New York. And we continue to pay tribute to folks like Joe Solomon. And as much as he's left Guyana and the West Indies, his name still lives on. That even his grandson on the subway could tell him, I knew your grandfather. There's a big picture of him in the Melbourne cricket ground and at Lord's cricket ground of him occupying such historical stature. And that, my brothers and sisters, is really an achievement. So hats off to Joe. Well played, Joe. Thank you, sir. And thank you very much, brothers and sisters. May God bless you all.